Anything they say about me during the presentation I can correct at the end. Ivan was wounded in Iraq. He lost his sight as a result of two mortar rounds. Not only was that quite a challenge for him down south, but Ivan is Puerto Rican and really suffers in the cold. I had the pleasure of sharing a tent with him for 3.5 minutes. Margot was also injured in Iraq. She suffered from a traumatic brain injury. Brain injuries are something that are a difficult subject for a lot of people to engage with. A physical injury is usually visible. Brain injuries are not. And both in the US and the UK, there's increasing awareness of brain injuries and the effect that they have on people. And this was our first expedition that we were able to take people with brain injury with us, and it was challenging for all. And Margot was a great asset for us to have along. Guy, as Nick mentioned, came to the North Pole with me and the South Pole. He sort of lurks like a rather bad smell, but I think shortly he's been with Walking with Wounded now for 2 years and shortly off into the big wide world. So we wish you well. And finally, on the far side, Inge Solheim, who was our head guide in the south, and also guided us to the North Pole. They'll all be telling the story. When Nick refers to me as Captain Parker, I sort of blush a bit. You blink and you miss my military service. It wasn't particularly distinguished. So I'm very honoured to have my rank used, but it wasn't quite local, but it was only just. But one of the things I learned in the military is every good plan should have an aim. And our aim going to the South Pole was to raise awareness, to show people that despite injury, extraordinary things can still be achieved. I think there's a tendency, both over here and on our side of the pond, to linger too long on what's happened. And there's a culture of pity and sorrow that we must be really careful not to engender, because this lot don't want pity or sorrow. They were doing what they were employed to do. What happened. It doesn't make it any the better, but they've got to move on. And so we try to instill a culture of looking for the future, being inspiring and challenging those people who have been injured in their future. For us this time it was a new endeavour, because we took 4 different countries with us. Previously we'd only just played with Brits. This time we engaged with the Americans and the Australians and Canadians. And in order for that to work, we decided to have a race, and we'll talk a little bit about the race later. So before I hand over to Inge, I'll just introduce what we did.
It's amazing. It's ridiculous. And the place that should exist.